In a dusty Arizona bar, bikers bully a silent bartender, unaware she's a Delta Force legend. The sun scorched the cracked pavement outside the Dusty Coyote, a lone tavern on the edge of Redstone, Arizona. Inside, Nora Kane, a wiry figure in a faded cap, served drinks with a quiet that hid a deadly past. When the Steel Vipers Motorcycle Club storms in, picking a fight, they unleash a fury that leaves them broken in seconds. Brace for a tale of grit, secrets, and a twist that'll sear your soul. Subscribe for more electrifying stories. The Dusty. Coyote's ceiling fan rattled, country tunes humming through the dim, smoky air. Nora, slim and unassuming, moved behind the weathered bar, her blonde hair tucked under a worn trucker cap, eyes shielded by mirrored aviators. Locals knew not. To dig into her past, her calm, precise motions hinted at a life beyond slinging tequila. But tonight, outsiders roared into Redstone. The Steel Vipers, a brutal biker gang, rolled up on thundering Harleys, dust and menace trailing them. Their leader, a lean predator called Spike, swaggered in, tossing his helmet onto a table with a crash. "Well, look at this!" he roared, eyeing Nora. "Bartender's a quiet little mouse!" His crew cackled, circling the bar like hyenas. Nora stayed silent, wiping the counter, pouring shots, her hands steady. Spike slammed his fist on the bar. "You mute or just dumb?" No response, just a faint tightening of Nora's jaw. A biker snatched her sunglasses, another yanked her cap, revealing ice-blue eyes that burned with something ancient, lethal. The room stilled, but the Vipers, too drunk or cocky, missed the warning. Spike leaned in, breath sour. "Smile, sweetheart." Nora moved, slowly, reaching under the bar, not for a weapon, but a scuffed dog tag. It dangled before Spike's. Sneer Nora Kane, Delta Force. His grin faltered, but before he could react, Nora struck. In a blur, she twisted Spike's wrist, bones cracking, and hurled him over the bar. She vaulted after a whirlwind of precision. A biker bull lunged. Nora's spin kick shattered his knee. Another drew a blade. She disarmed him, pinning the knife to the wall an inch from his ear. Chaos erupted. Tables flipped. Bottles smashed. But Nora was a tempest. She dodged a chain, trapping it and dropping its wielder with a knee to his chest. A final thug charged. She spun, slamming his head into a beam. In minutes, the Vipers lay groaning, clutching broken limbs. Nora stood, cap and shades back on, voice low. "Come back, and you leave in bags." No cops were called. Redstone knew better. Word spread like wildfire. The Vipers limped out, vowing never to cross the silent bartender again. Inside, Nora righted stools, unfazed, as locals peered in, awestruck but silent. A young rancher, Eli, stammered, "That was unreal." Nora's half-smile, rare, shut him down, and he slipped away. But her calm masked a storm. 12 years ago, in Syria's war-torn shadows, Nora, codenamed Ghost, had fought through an ambush. Her Delta team betrayed, she'd carried 2 wounded brothers through a bullet-riddled valley, her knife and M4 her only allies. She'd saved them, bloodied but unbowed, earning the name Desert Reaper. She left the uniform, but not the warrior. As Nora swept glass, Sheriff Brody arrived, eyeing the wreckage. Blood, splintered chairs, moaning Vipers. "Care to explain?" he asked, voice dry. Nora tossed a rag down. "Self-defense?" Brody chuckled. "Figured. Trouble follows you, doesn't it?" She adjusted her cap, hiding a scar from a botched mission. "It tries." He glanced at Spike's crumpled form. "Haul him off?" Nora shook her head. "Let the desert sort him." Brody nodded. Some justice didn't need a badge. 3 nights later, the air turned heavy, electric. Nora's instincts prickled as she locked up. Headlights cut the dark, not Harleys, but sleek, silent SUVs. Men spilled out. Tactical gear, military precision, No patches. Professionals. Nora's hand hovered near her hidden 1911. The leader stepped forward. Cole, ex-Delta, her former teammate, turned rogue. She'd last seen him in Syria, torching. A village against orders. Now he stood in her dust, grinning like a jackal. "Nora," he purred. "Heard you roughed up my Viper pals. Cost me coin, cost me cred." The bar's last patrons fled. Cole's men fanned out. "Neil Begg, maybe I'll let you walk," he said. Nora's voice was ice. "Last chance, Cole. Leave." He laughed, signaling his crew. "Light her up." No shot came. Nora moved first, drawing her 1911, dropping one merc with a knee shot. Another with a round to his hand. Chaos exploded. Tables became shields. Bullets flew. Nora dove over the bar, plunging the room into darkness by shooting the lights. In the shadows, she was untouchable. A wrist snapped, ribs cracked, a skull met hardwood. Cole fired wildly, roaring, but Nora was a specter, never where he aimed. She closed in, disarming him, twisting his arm until it broke, then slammed his, face into the bar. "You should have stayed dead," she hissed, knocking him out. Nora dragged Cole's limp form to the dirt, his men fleeing in their SUVs. Sheriff Brody rolled up, sighing at the carnage. "Misunderstanding?" Nora lit a cigarette, pistol low. "Something like that." He eyed Cole. "Jail?" "The desert's fine," she said. Brody drove off, lights flashing. Nora leaned against the bar, staring into the vast Arizona night. Trouble had found her, and she'd crushed it. But Cole's arrival meant her past was hunting. She wasn't running, she'd hunt back. Stunned by Nora's fury, Cole's betrayal, the desert's justice. Subscribe, hit the bell, and drop your city, Texas, California, or beyond. Share your story. Ever been underestimated or found your fire?